Alright, we've got all the forms properly signed.
It's about time.
So will you finally give us the paperwork? Ah, Ignatius von Valancius, you have returned. I hope the sacred document I entrusted to you last time has now successfully passed through the approval procedure. Remind me what you need me to do, remind me who you are. Here's your paper, complete with seals. The ocular lens on the woman's nose emits a subtle hum as she adjusts the magnification. Yes, oh yes, indeed, it is perfect. The seals are authentic, so we may continue with the certification procedure. Follow me, please. Ah, this was the room that we didn't know how to get into before. Oh dear. Please tell me it's not wait in line for 100 years. This is your queue, and your ticket number is... The old woman's ocular lens hums as she zooms in on the paper in her hand. 394. When it is your turn to be seen, the ranking prefect will review your documentation again and sign the official certification for Jai Haidari to possess a Mercantum Tabula Officiale. You will have a bit of a wait, but it will be worth it in the end, yes? Welcome to queuing, yes. Is this some kind of joke? I'm the rogue trader and sovereign of this world. I do not queue. If I must queue, then queue I shall. Or address Jai. I'm sick of this. Handle your problems yourself, Jai. Is this some kind of joke? The Master of Seals peers at you over her ocular lenses. Hardly. In accordance with Decree DA-58, Clause 201, citizens of the capital world of the Von Valancius Protectorate must submit their petitions at one of the assigned windows of the waiting hall. The decree makes no mention of the rogue trader being exempt from this rule. Yes, but it also doesn't state that we have to wait in line. Ha, gotcha there. Just says I have to submit at the window. I am the rogue trader and sovereign of this world. I do not queue. Under the Lex Imperialis, your rights and privileges as rogue trader come into effect only after your official ascension ceremony. Until then, you are just another humble subject of the Von Valancius Protectorate. I mean, that's fair. We are not actually officially the rogue trader yet. Now I shall return after the official ceremony. Do not even think of obstructing me until then. The official ceremony is going to be a ways away. Coercion, do you really want to get on my bad side? I mean, there's no harm in queuing, unless it's ridiculous, like, okay, 3 years later, or something. But if it's, you know, wait in line for 5 hours, fine. I'm gonna assume the queuing is fine. In real life, I would go mad, but in the game, I'm hoping they pop up a box, you know, 2 hours past. If I must queue, then queue I shall. And I bid you a good day. May the law and the Emperor keep you. There's no way in 40k queuing is okay. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, petitioner. Your face looks familiar. Look at them all dressed up. Yeah, can I... What do I do here? Surely... I guess we'll look around. We've got our queue number. The crowd hums and surges like the sea in foul weather. The smell of unwashed bodies, ancient parchment work, and stuff. Ink assaults your nose. For many petitioners, this is not their first cycle waiting to be seen. A cycle day then, not month. What is our queue number? $394. Okay, cycle is days. Okay. 394. I feel like that's a Harry Potter reference. Someone who is... Yeah. That's the page that Snape has them turn to. Turn to page 394. Bit of a Harry Potter nerd. So, could be coincidence, but I suspect not. Task list for current work turn. 1. Compose an order for the servitorization of 90% of the population of Asteroid Mining Station VMK-498 for the purpose of increasing productivity. Prepare a set of documents for the reclassification of the world Vibos 6 as a penal colony on the orders of Her Ladyship Theodora von Valencius. Interesting. That's the world we're supposed to go check out because it's being attacked by pirates. It's a mining colony now, according to that governor. Task the newly appointed adepts of the Administratum with conducting a review of all unresolved petitions in the last 5,999 cycles. Make a big mug of recaf. One of those seems less important than the others.
I'll lay claim to the stars.
Guardian of Order. Lots of petitioners around. Some more goods to grab. Addendum 32-4 to Addendum 874-BA7 to document NXC 4026-82. An addendum to another document. Perfect. T regiments of the Astra Militarum sent to the frozen world of Xenagar's II required supplies of warm clothing, footwear, and snowshoes for a successful combat maneuver with the further offensive against the enemies of humanity and the Emperor. Due to a gross error by a low-ranking adept of the Adeptus Administratum, instead of the aforementioned supplies, soldiers received 800 cryobanks, resulting in the death by freezing of the majority of the troops before the commencement of the mission of retribution. For the purpose of improving efficiency, the adept responsible was subjected to servitude in perpetuitas, as a result of which he is now discharging his duties flawlessly. Yeah, if you turn everyone into servitors, then everyone is far more efficient. But unfortunately, your population is all servitors.
Victory awaits!
Oh, so this is where we go to take our place in the queue. When we're ready. Perfect. Bundles of wires have been ripped out of the servitor's neck, and a yellow fluid is seeping from its damaged joints. How angry would a person have to be to do this? Probably reasonably angry. So we can't get over there at all.
Pay attention.
Oh, pay attention to what? Some goods. Hey, you have a name. Medkit, stim, multi-key. Perfect. I can't click on you, though. You have a name. You're not just petitioner. Like, you specifically highlight. Odd.
I won't tolerate weakness.
And I think we already... Oh, we can't get over there at all. Just making sure I'm not missing anywhere that we can go. And that's where we came from. Okay. I think all we have left to do is... Oh, we've got some goods. Don't want to miss those. We check the map. Alright, looks like we don't have any goods we've missed. So, let's take our place in queue. I The queue hums with thousands of voices. Someone has rolled out bedding and is settling down to sleep. Someone is playing some bizarre musical instrument. Many are praying. Several highborn petitioners are debating who is here on the most important business. You have to admit, the magnificent administrative machinery of the Imperium isn't without its rough edges. Jai smiles sheepishly, eyeing the queue. But what a thrilling adventure this is turning out to be, Shireen. I've never seen anything like it before, and sometimes it's good to take a break from constant traveling, and to give all the hot-blooded newcomers a chance to cover themselves in glory without us in the way. Yawn, scratch the back of your neck, count the people in the queue, order your servants to prepare a waiting area befitting a rogue trader, or wait patiently. Let's count the people in the queue. The people are constantly moving, coming and going, changing places, or simply disappearing from view. On your first attempt, you count 238 petitioners. On your second attempt, you count 244. On your third attempt, the next batch of unlucky souls is ushered into the hall and you lose count. Yawn. The minutes drag by intolerably slowly. Somewhere in the queue, a child is howling at the top of its lungs. The palace adepts are sedately moving documents from one pile to another, shuffling papers. Several petitioners have gathered in a huddle and are swapping rumors while someone has laid down for a nap on a nearby bench. Scratch the back of our neck. You have whiled away 30 seconds of your wait. You wonder how long you have left to go. We're not going to order our servants to prepare a waiting area befitting of a rogue trader. Just wait patiently. 8 hours. That's not terrible. In the last 8 hours, the only thing that has changed is the waiting hall. Changed in the waiting hall is the warden shift. The petitioners in the queue placidly await the blessed hour when their appeal will be heard by a high-ranking servant of the Imperium. The entire queue perks up at a sudden announcement. Number 285, proceed to the available window. Throne, take me. What torturous trial have we let ourselves in for? Jai almost wails in despair. So much precious time lost, and we've only moved 3 places ahead. At this rate, we'll be old and gray before we get out of this queue. Shireen? Yeah, we're 100 and some odd away. Only 3 places have moved in 8 hours? Do not forget you are the reason we are here. Do you have a better idea? I've had it with this bureaucratic nonsense. We're leaving. Do not forget you are the reason we are here. And that was the will of the Exalted One, Shireen. Jai throws up her arms and lowers her head. And the Exalted One has granted me insight as to how, with a simple wave of your hand and a few wise words, we can ease our arduous weight. The simplest way is to make these lowly subjects bow down before the blinding radiance of our title, Shireen. The second option requires a little more patience. I've already found our first victim. The compassionate citizen who is standing 50 paces ahead of us in the queue. Simply offer the right words to unlock his heart, and he will gladly swap tickets with you. And also, you have the power to solve the problem of some petitioners removing their need to visit a coveted window. After all, is there anything an ordinary citizen could want that is beyond the power of the Conqueror of the Stars to grant? Solve the problems of the common people. Frighten the people. Those worms should bow down in terror before their master and let us through. Whatever you're thinking, do it. Address the tender-hearted man. Man. The idea of convincing someone 50 places ahead of us, if it takes 8 hours for 3 people to move, someone who's 50 places ahead of us has been here for days. And just be like, hey, do you want to swap tickets? I'm the rogue trader. Like, who knows how important his task is compared to her just wanting legal documentation to be a merchant. Open fire on the crowd. Why go to any effort when I can simply shoot everyone here? Wow. Want to consider everything again. Let's try and solve the problems of the common people. If there are simple things that we can take care of, that seems like the easiest route. A wise decision, Shireen. Cold traders always say, if you can solve a problem with hard cash, then that's just the cost of doing business. Jai gives you a conspiratorial wink and backs away slightly. Oh, Exalted One. Could today be my lucky day? No longer will I have to stand in this hall, waiting day and night for my turn to come. For this kind lord of House von Valencius is a benefactor of the downtrodden, and he has solved my problem. Esteemed lord, take pity on the poor youth as well. I will give you everything I have, I swear, before the Emperor. Only help me solve my problem. Can you give me your ticket number? We do not need everything, poor wretch. Only your place in the queue. Listen to the young man. I shall do everything in my power. Emperor, grant me patience. Your paltry problems are no concern of mine. Be gone. Let's listen to the young man. The young man is worn work overalls, comports himself with unusual grace for a commoner. My lord, I've been in this queue for 24 moons already. 24 moons. Wow. Trying to get permission slip to wed my fiancée Zazie. Unfortunately, the servants of the administratum refused to grant it without the signature of a highborn sponsor. Strange petitioner, out of my way, elbowing aside onlookers left and right. A richly dressed lady with a beauty mark augment above her lip charges toward you. Esteemed lord, my 8th offspring has lost his mind. He has decided to renounce his family, his noble title, and his talent as a healer, all for the sake of some tattered waif from the middle levels. A union with a commoner will put an end to his studies at the university, but should Dargonus and the officio medicae be deprived of a capable chirurgeon because of a passing fancy? Zazie is a healer too, and she helps the people of the hive a great deal more than any lily-white chirurgeon with a diploma. I don't want to live a life of idleness in the spires of Dargonus like you, not when I know there are thousands of unfortunate people in the lower levels who need my help. Okay, so he wants to get married to another healer who's actually helping the people, but he's got the potential to be a high-ranking chirurgeon up in the spires, and that's what his family name is known for. I have no interest in your little drama. I will sign the paper if you require a sponsor. The lives of commoners hold no value. When you finish university, you will be qualified to save those who are truly worthy. I mean, there's some truth to that. The Imperium has so many people that they don't care about the low-level people who are just there to be used to keep the upper levels of the Imperium continuing. In the name of House von Valencius, I hereby make your fiancée a lady of the court and release her from any obligations thereto. So I can just make her a noble, but not have any sort of obligations, just so that she meets the requirements of this family. You wish to study alongside your beloved? Very well. I hereby grant you ownership of the Dargonus University of Medicae. You may admit anyone you like. I mean, no. Drops profit factor. No. That's a bit crazy. I mean, this is essentially saying, I make your fiancée in a position where she can attend the medical school with you and be in a position where she meets the requirements to marry. Also, 8th offspring, going so crazy. Like, if it was your firstborn, saying that, yeah, my, firstborn needs to follow along in our steps to be this high noble, etc. But 8th offspring, being that particular about what all of your children do is a bit crazy. So we can just make his... Yeah. The problem is that his union to a commoner will put an end to his studies. And he won't be able to reach that high place. So yeah, we'll just make her a lady of the court with no positions, no obligations, but technically a noble. Problem solved for everyone. Rather than him having to be disinherited, if he is a qualified and good Medicae, who would be useful on the upper levels, then let's just let his fiancée also join him up there. Why not? The young man spends several seconds opening and closing his mouth in shock. That means our marriage will finally be certified? And Zansi will be able to become a chirurgeon now too. I don't know how to thank you. My lord, here, please take my place. I will return later, this time with my fiancée. You're welcome. Everyone's happy, except there's just suddenly a new noble. You have an interesting way of doing business, Shireen. I'll keep that in mind. Jai's shrewd eyes are alight with interest as she watches the young petitioner leave. After allowing you a brief pause, a hunched ragamuffin approaches you. The old man's toothless mouth breathes out a putrefying cloud of air as he speaks only 3 words. Death for life. Okay. Jai peers over the man's shoulders to read his crumpled form. You are here to request mortification so that your organs go to your granddaughter as an inheritance. She will hardly want your worn-out body parts, old-timer. The ragged man shakes his head and covers his face with his wrinkled hands. Servitor disposal. I think you're probably too old to be useful as a servitor either. Awareness test succeeded. Only now do you notice the tattoo on his right hands, the symbol of the Adeptus Administratum, and several interlocking chains. It seems this old fellow is the property of a prefect of this palace. Jai looks at the man's form again and rears back in horror. The granddaughter of this poor wretch was turned into a servitor 16 Dargonis years ago, and after a recent accident, she was listed for disposal. And now this old man is volunteering to be spare parts for a soulless tin can. May the Exalted One keep me from such a fate. Okay. So his granddaughter was turned into a servitor, but an accident is made so that she's about to be disposed. He wants to give up his organs now that he's near death to fix her so that she can continue on as a servitor rather than being destroyed. Sacrifice will mean nothing to a servitor. You do realize that. I'll have my people buy your granddaughter's release and see to your welfare. I mean, that's the nice option. We'd have to pay for her to get fixed, and we'd be paying for his welfare for however long he lives. You don't have to die, old man. If she has been taken out of service, then the time has come to release her. I think that's just saying, telling him to stop focusing on her if she's already effectively dead at this point. I'll give the order for your granddaughter to be repaired, but if you wish to be with her forever, you will also be subject to servitude imperpetuous. That word is just not, it's not good. Just can't pull it off. How dare you, a prefix property, try to make use of its own life. Get away, back to your master. I mean, that's also fair. This man is owned. Where's our awareness test? I don't see where our awareness test happened. Am I just missing it? Here. Only now you notice the tattoo on his right hand. Seems this fellow is property of a prefect of this palace. So if we do anything with this old man without checking with the prefect, we are potentially damaging property of someone else. Granted, it's a person, but this is 40k. I'm going to start with this one. It's a question, which means I'm not giving an answer. At least that's how I am reading this. Your sacrifice will mean nothing to a servitor. You do realize that. The old man's toothless mouth opens in pain, seemingly splitting his face in two. and his salty tears well in his time-worn eyes. Yeah. I mean, I guess the question is, which I don't think we have a solid answer, is his granddaughter also owned by the same prefect? Because if we effectively give the prefect an old servitor that was damaged back to him repaired, and give him this guy who's dying as a servitor, that feels like a better value to him, so he won't be upset. Because telling him to get back to his master is probably the correct answer, but it feels harsh. This one feels harsh as well, but nicer. Yeah, I'm gonna go with this one. It feels... yeah, it feels the best. This is probably the most dogmatic. This one feels okay. I'll give the order for your granddaughter be repaired, but if you wish to be with her forever, you will also be subject to servitude in perpetuous. The old man nods in understanding. Yes, I understand. Emperor, watch over you. Sorry, old man, but it's kind of your choice. Interesting. So that is how the ruler of worlds and all the stars in the sky act when he finds an unfortunate on the edge of his magnificent orbit. Jai nods pensively and beckons to the next petitioner forward. A mature woman in finely made but threadbare dress greets you. I heard you were helping those in need. Well, my family, it's devastated. My life's work, oh, my shop's selling rare hats, burnt to ashes. I'm living out my last years as a widow, alone in a cold, deserted manor, without servants, diversions, or delicacies befitting my status. The woman falls silent, her brow raised in expectation of your response. Okay. I suppose you must remarry then. I shall have my people select the best spouse for you. Ha! This should suffice to cover your expenses. 3 profit factor. Do you know how much profit factor is worth? Like a rogue trader's profit factor, to lose 3 to help her live happier? No. Perhaps I can rebuild this hat shop of yours. And what you want is a life that is meaningless and full of despair? Perhaps it is time you turn to faith, sister. I like that one a lot. The remarry, I think, was fine. But, you know, seems the Emperor has a new path for you. What do you want is a life full of that is meaningless and full of despair? Perhaps it's time you turn to faith, sister. The woman's eyes go round in surprise. Why, I think you're right. What do I want with a tumble-down manor house full of rats? And a depressing view from the window. My life is I have dreamt of interplanetary travel. A pilgrimage, that's it. I'll sell the house and what's left of the shop. I'll buy a one-way ticket, and Emperor willing, I will die happy before my savings run out. For the Emperor. Wow, this line is just never ending. Three more hours passed as we deal with helping people. Well, that was amusing. I paid off the last few onlookers who were willing to give up their place. It's a pity they aren't also amenable. Jai inspects the ticket she now holds and nods with satisfaction. We've moved forward considerably in the queue, Shireen. But you aren't ready to stop there, are you? I'll be honest, Shireen. I already tried to convince Heinrichs to use his interrogator's rosette. With sweet words and pretty songs, I cajoled and wheedled, but he remains unmoved, like a rock whipped by the winds. Perhaps he will be more amenable to a request from you. No. In the same way that us barging forward using our rogue trader status feels wrong, having an interrogator of the Inquisition use his interrogator's rosette is also just not... This is not what it's for. Wait patiently. We need to move forward faster. Use your tricks. Open fire on the crowd. Do I want to ask her to use her tricks? It's super unclear what that means, and so I'm nervous. So I'm going to just say wait patiently. We've moved up significantly. It's probably fine. 8 more hours. Another 8 planetary hours go by. The queue has hardly moved. The adept in the next window was dealing with rebelling machine spirits in his cogitator, so the petitioners from that queue were diverted to the middle of yours. Shireen, you're a saint. Have I told you that before? You must be, because I don't see any other reason why you would show such fervent but senseless patience. Can't we hurry things along? I think it's going to force me to use the tricks. Or give up. Since wait patiently is now... grayed out is the wrong term, but that's the term I'm going to use. Alright, use your tricks. Let's move things along faster. I'd prefer to call it my wisdom, learned through many years of experience, but I don't care about it. The precise wording just now. How do you wish to proceed then, Shireen? Coercion, which we have a 100% chance to succeed. Heinrichs, this is a perfect opportunity to make use of your privileged status. After all, you do not wish to spend your mission for several cycles, do you? Frighten the people. These worms should bow down in terror before their master and let us through. Whatever you're thinking, do it. Address the tender-hearted man. Let's address a tender-hearted man. I don't want to frighten the people. I don't want to just give her freedom to do whatever she wants, because that's scary. And I don't want to try and get Heinrichs, though I would almost certainly succeed with that coercion. Having him use his rosette feels wrong. So, address the tender-hearted man. Oh, it's the guy who had a name. Jai catches your eye and lays her hand on the shoulder of the weary-looking man. May the Emperor illuminate your path, brother. I am Jai, and this is Ignatius. We've been in the queue so long already. We're all practically family now. Won't you tell us what brought you to the Palace of Order? The man starts in surprise. Menace, yeah. Yes. Fly to the throne, bless you. My name is Menace de Pierre. I have been here a month already. I've tried everything I can to get through to that window. Nothing worked. My poor Elena. She's my daughter, my flesh and blood. They detained her on Vivo 6. Charged her. Can you believe it? The charges were false. That's how our administratum operates. Menace covers his mouth and glances around fearfully. I've said too much. I do apologize. It's my nerves. I just keep thinking about her there on Vivos, shackled down in the mines. My poor Elena. A delicate as a flower she is. She's got weak lungs, you understand, always coughing, and her now down in the mines. All that dust and muck. She won't cope with it. She won't. She was acquitted 2 years ago, but to get the papers certified and the seal, so much time has passed. And now here I am, standing, waiting. It doesn't matter. At the rate this queue's moving, it'll be 10 cycles or more before our numbers come up. What was your daughter accused of? I do not think your daughter would mind if you let the rogue trader go ahead of you. I'm sorry about your daughter, but it will not... If you do not let me pass tomorrow, 50 Dargonian orphans will die. Whoa. Why don't I simply pay you and give me your place in the queue? I mean, he cares about his daughter. I don't think giving him money will necessarily meet what he's wanting. What was your daughter accused of? Falsely accused. She was slandered. They said she deliberately poisoned a whole room of highborn folk with cakes. Have you ever heard the like of it? These nobles don't even make as far as the privy. Panic, outrage, scandal. And so what? It was their own fault, that's what. A crate of fine Calixian wine was found. Ha! And the smugglers were found too. And what did the smugglers do? They framed someone else, and my daughter was charged. Of course, blame the smugglers. I mean, we intend to go to Vivo 6, so I was hoping there would be an option of, we'll go there and see her situation, if you give us your number, or something. I do not think your daughter would mind if you let the rogue trader go ahead of you. Mena's fleshy face tenses at your words. Well, the time, and I've been... Oh, of course. It would be an honor for the De Pere family. Please, go ahead, your lordship. I'm sorry, dude. We will go to Vivos soon. Not as smoothly done as it could have been, but you certainly have a style all your own, Shireen. What now? Wait 2 more hours. We've moved forward considerably in the queue, Shireen, but you aren't ready to stop there, are you? I don't want to have him use his rosette. I don't want to frighten the people. I'm not going to open fire on the crowd. So it's either we keep waiting or I give her freedom to do what she's thinking. Alright, whatever you're thinking, do it. Though you will have to answer for whatever harm you cause. You don't need to tell me twice, Shireen. All is fair in love and bureaucracy. No, did you hear that? The certification officers will only see petitioners who have a signed number ticket. Thanks be to the Exalted One, I managed to get one in the next queue over. Encouraging everyone to leave the queue to get them signed. Ha! No one told me about any tickets. I've been standing here 7 turns already. If these ashmags want to be tricked, I won't stop them. Jai smugly watches the agitated crowd whispering among themselves and jabbing at each other with sheaves of paper. We've moved forward considerably in the queue, Shireen, but you aren't ready to stop there, are you? Yeah, I'm not willing to do anything else, I don't think. Like, all we have left is frightening the people, which I don't want to do. Opening fire on the people, which I definitely don't want to do. Having Heinrichs use his privileged status, which I don't want to do. Or just wait patiently. Or give up. So I guess we'll just wait patiently. Surely we're close. The hum of activity returns to the queue. Petitioners exchange glances, clutching their paperwork. After a few seconds, you realize that the number being called out by the server skulls for the 3rd time is the one on your ticket. Well, that went faster than I expected. We had a little bit of a wait, of course, but at times it was actually fun. Jai smiles wearily. One last seal, one more certification, and you'll be looking at official trade representative Jai Hidari. What are you waiting for, Shireen? Let's go. We have another couple of hours with the certification officer to get through. The amount of bureaucracy here is crazy. The certification officer leans over the document, his smoothly shaven head gleaming. His augmented ocular eyes whir as the lenses zoom in and out. With quiet scratching sounds, the cogita quills that serve in place of the officer's fingers make notes on the fine sheet of paper. The document is hereby certified, says the rasping voice through the metal jaw with integrated box. Return to the Master of Seals in order to proceed. And may his light and wisdom guard you. Next! Alright, finally.
A new challenge for me.
Master of Seals, it's been like 2 days. Which, frankly, you should be shocked by, but we got everything signed. And the Temple of Law and Order greets you, Ignatius von Valencius. You have returned with all the necessary paperwork, I presume. Here. All the seals placed by a certification officer. Wonderful. The Emperor blessed you with patience greater than apportioned to ordinary mortals. Allow me to verify the authenticity of your documents for the final time. The old woman holds the documents close so they are almost touching her nose. Her mechanical ocular lens is clicking incessantly. Yes, confirmed. Everything is in order. And this one, the seal is smudged slightly. Jai's smile evaporates, revealing her true emotions. Void scorpions, scratch out my eyes. What now, what? I suppose I can overlook it, given that the rest has been certified correctly and promptly. Congratulations, Jai Hidari. You are now the holder of Mercatum Tabula Officiale. Do not forget to repeat the certification process every 100 Terran cycles. Uphold the law of the Imperium proudly and honorably, in the words of the Koronus Expanse. And one more thing. Loss of this certificate is a grievous transgression, Mistress Hidari. Lose the original document, and you will be unable to regain your status as an official trade representative, not even with the rogue trader's endorsement. Yes, esteemed Damar, give me the certificate already. Come on. Jai's eyes dart over the Mercatum Tabula Official and shine with delight. Praise the exalted one who saw me through all these trials, Shireen. This is something to tell the grandchildren about, how a humble mortal became a trade representative of the Imperium. Let's not bother the Damar any longer, Shireen. Why don't we discuss our next steps on the ship? Dude. That was a lot.
None shall stand in my way.
We've made it through the bureaucracy. Without, I think, giving... without... you know, twisting our morals too far. Because there are things we could have done that would have felt wrong to speed it up. Alright, let's talk to Jai. She hangs out back here, if I recall. Somewhere. There you are.
Shireen, light of my eyes, giver of boons and savior of the needy. From now on, 2 sons will grace the firmament of the Fon Valancius Protectorate. One bright and powerful, like the rogue trader himself, and the other slightly more humble, like his unassuming partner, the diligent owner of the Mercatum Tabula Officiale, and all around delight, Jai Hidari.
Jai Hidari tenderly holds the piece of script-covered parchment like a young mother nursing her newborn child.
As I promised before, my crew will be your eyes and ears across the entire expanse, Shireen. Just give them time. And of course, the assistant to official trade representative Jai Hidari is already rushing to Dargonis to deliver goods of rare and exquisite quality to you and your people, O master of many worlds. And once again, thank you, Shireen, from the bottom of my humble heart.
Jai's eyes shine playfully in the perpetual half-light of the bridge. Is that the extent of your gratitude? You're welcome, Jai. It is what friends are for. Enjoy freedom, Jai. I see you have found it much to your taste. Lose this piece of paper and I will not help you get another. Throne be my witness. Fair. You presume too much, Hidari. We are not partners. Keep making yourself useful. You are welcome, Jai. It is what friends are for.
A rogue trader cannot have friends, Shireen. Only servants for whom the word of their master is supreme law. And partners to whom the favor of the warrant bearer is the highest reward for their mutual efforts. Why are you looking at me like that? How many friends does the soul that shines down upon Holy Terra have?
Jai raises an eyebrow in genuine surprise. It takes her a few seconds to come up with a reply, and when she does, she lowers her eyes. It's fair. Those at the very top typically don't accept others as friends, just business partners and servants.
You are welcome to call our relations whatever you like, Shireen. After all, words mean little. But you have taken good care of me, and so I would like to take good care of you, and go slightly beyond the strict terms of our agreement. Here, I brought a small gift as a token of gratitude, and may the Exalted One keep watching over the paths that you tread.
Battle-scarred cape. When the wearer ends their turn, they remove burning, bleeding, and toxin negative effects from themselves and all adjacent allies. The wearer gains +1 temporary wounds for each negative effect removed that way. Doesn't seem terribly useful, but if someone's not wearing a cape, I guess it's fine. Certainly not ourselves, because we want to stay burning. Okay, we could try and romance her, but we're not going to. Tell me about your background again. Is lit up.
The youngest child is destined to become a bargaining chip in the family's political games. But I was unwilling to accept such a fate, and wanted to choose what to become and which path to follow. When I learned the Exalted One watches over hundreds of other worlds amidst distant stars, I understood there was an entire world of opportunities beyond Ifrit. All I had to do was break the familial bonds tying me down and escape the planet. Which I did a long time ago.
Yeah, I think this is all stuff we've heard before. Thank you for sharing this.
All relationships are based on mutual trust. That goes for business too.
You would not have managed the bureaucracy we just went through? And what do you mean by not allowed on the battlefield, pseudonym?
Oh, I have no doubt you will.
So let's see, the cape slot is which? Ah, that one. The one that looks like a cape. Is anyone not wearing a cape? Alright, you're not. You are. You are. Jai never actually goes out. So of the people we actually bring with us, she's the only one that doesn't have a cape. So we can make it so that you don't burn, bleed, or toxin. Why not? Oh, the cape could cure burn even at a small distance. That's fair. The cake slot. Yes, the cake slot. Yeah. And we're probably going to be adjacent to her at times. That's true. I didn't consider the fact that it puts out burning on adjacent allies. Being that she's a long-range character, she's going to be standing next to us regularly. So that would turn out very poorly if you hadn't mentioned that. So thank you. Because the first time it, you know, put out my fire, I would have been so mad. It would have been my fault, of course. Alright, we are wanting not to do a project. We're wanting to land on the... Oh yeah, never mind. We want to go down to the palace. The throne room, actually. And the administratum is now gone. So I guess we have nothing left to do there. We can get rid of Jai. And let's grab back... No... I don't think we want to bring a Xeno with us. Let's bring Argenta. So we're going here to meet with the Navis Nobilite, the Cassia's family. Navis Nobilite? Nobilite? We heard the word once spoken, and I forget how they pronounced it.